We're now talking to USA Hockey and Rangers writer and host of Broadway Hat podcast, Kyle Hall. Kyle, what's up, man?
How you guys doing? Long time since we talked.
Absolutely, man. Hey, listen, you have a smile on your face. That's great. I mean, the last time you were on the show, I kind of got under your skin a little bit. I mean, with the Rangers.
And I told you that Adam Fox would win a Norris Trophy.
Yes, you
year.
did.
You did, and you haven't called me since then.
All right, you were right about that. Hey, I also said Noah Dobson's going to be a pretty good player too.
Yeah, he's turned out pretty well.
Yeah, he's starting to blossom, thank God. But anyways, why don't we get into it? Before we get into that, how are you feeling? I mean, last time we spoke, COVID was going on. Everybody wanted to jump out of a building. They were stuck in their houses, masks. I mean, now it's just like nothing ever happened. How are you and your family?
We're great. We're good. I got actually expecting a new little girl on the way now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so a lot of change has been on, and yeah, it's been good. Thanksgiving coming up, so that's always a good time with family. We have Christmas coming on here, so if the Rangers can turn it around, it'll be a really good Christmas season.
Well, listen, when you're stuck in a house all that time, you have to do something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't hit pucks. You can't hit pucks, so you might as well do something else. Anyways, I'm just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think I'm crazy, but I am a little crazy. Anyways, why don't we get into it? The Metropolitan Division, everybody thought that it was really the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. And I know it's still early in the season, but everybody thought they were 1-2 after what happened last year. The Rangers played and had a great season. They went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, where they played great hockey and obviously bumped into a team that was just better than they were. But knocking off Carolina, knocking off the teams that they knocked off as good as they were throughout the season, there were some questions about going into the new season with Chris Kreider, if Chris Kreider was going to score 50 goals this year. It was Panarin going to have the season early last year. He couldn't really score, couldn't do anything, and then started to play a little bit better at the end of the season, then couldn't score in the playoffs. Do you think that this Ranger team going into this year was going to be better than they are right now?
Better than they are right now, yes. I thought they would take the momentum from the playoffs and bring it into the new season. And I thought it all came down to the kids, right? They had the kid line that was electric for them all postseason. And it kind of came down to them taking the next step with Ryan Strome leaving, Frank Vetrano leaving. You know, these guys who they brought in. You know, Vetrano was brought in halfway through the year or towards the end of the year. Andrew Kopp was brought in. They were huge, pieces to that Rangers team that run. They lost those guys. They lost Ryan Strome, who's been there forever. Now, the addition of Frank Vetrano, I thought, was an upgrade, and it is an upgrade from Ryan Strome. You look at the numbers, you look at everything he's done for them this year. He's been a major upgrade.
I'm sorry, who?
Vincent
Trocheck.
Trocheck.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Sorry,
I'm like,
Trocheck, sorry.
Vetrano's not on the team.
Because I was looking at stats before. Trocheck has been a major upgrade over Strome coming into the season right now. But they're just not scoring right now. Chris Kreider, the goals that were going in last year on the deflections are hitting the post or going wide. Panarin, he's had, I think I saw the other day, he's had 3 consecutive games now, or he had 3 consecutive games of 0 shots on goal, 5-on-5, which is kind of startling to see that, what's going on there with him. And Mika Zibanejad for a while was only scoring the power play. I think he only has 2 goals now at 5-on-5. So again, the one thing that the Rangers struggled with last year was 5-on-5 offense. The whole thing, the offseason was trying to improve that, and we haven't seen that at all. And the power play, which was clicking at a historic rate last year, you just can't keep up with, a 30% number. Like, that's an insane number to keep up with. So Igor Shesterkin is still fantastic in net. The defense has had some issues.
Some issues. Come on, Kyle. Be honest now. Issues.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Rangers defense.
A lot of issues.
You look at the Rangers defense where they're at right now. You have Adam Fox, who's obviously
fantastic. He's fantastic.
Player, He's playing 25 minutes a night. He's great. Ryan Lindgren's been great. Keandre Miller, a guy who I think all Ranger fans and I thought would take a next step this year, hasn't taken that step yet. And could it be because Jacob Trouba's been playing hurt and has been playing below the level that we saw him in the playoffs play last year? Maybe. Before the season started, there's a whole thing where he wanted to get more involved offensively, Keandre Miller. We saw it happen in the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. Now we've seen him about 5 or 6 times get caught in the offensive zone behind the net on a 2-on-1 going the other way and giving up a goal. So we've seen that kind of backfire a couple times on it, and he's got 0 goals right now. So it's kind of like, I understand taking the risk, but, maybe let's not do it while Trouba right now is playing with a clear injury and not skating up to 100%. The third pairing is a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old, or Libor Hayek, who's, frankly, a 7th defenseman or a high-level AHL defenseman. He's not, he's playing well, but he's not an NHL, top 6 defender in a normal day. So I think as the season goes on here, there's 2 things that the Rangers need to add. They need to add another scorer sometime during this year, because
Patrick Kane.
I mean, I would love that. I think
he's going to be gifted. He'll be there.
Both of our teams are apparently the 2 teams that are wanting to get him in LA is also interested. But
I heard the Islanders are too.
That's what I said. Both of our teams. Yeah, the Islanders are.
I've heard they are.
No, they're not going to get him.
They might not get him, but they're interested in him.
Yeah, they're interested in everybody.
Well, they have Mayfield.
Wait, hold on. Didn't you know Lou's still sleeping?
Luso's still sleeping, but the Islanders still winning overtime, and they're right now still in second place.
He's still sleeping.
Oh, he's sleeping, but he's got a good team. You sit here and all the Islander fans. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kyle, but all the Islander fans, especially the hating Islander fans, they sit here. They can't score. They can't do anything. Lou was sleeping all offseason. The Islanders have what? They're 5th in the league in goal scoring. They are what? Number 4 in goals against in all of hockey. Oh, it was a horrible offseason. They added Romanoff, who's been very, very good as a defenseman for a defensive pairing that they have. The Islanders are playing really good hockey. Really good hockey. So for all the Islander fans that were taking shots at Lou Lamoriello that he didn't do anything in the offseason, maybe because he knew this team was actually pretty damn good. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say.
The one thing about the Islanders, too, is last year they had, which is what I tell this on my podcast. I say it to Ranger fans when they ask me all the time. The Islanders last year had the UBS opening. They were on the road for 13 games. They had that whole COVID thing where half the team came down with COVID, and they were the first team in the NHL that caught COVID. So the NHL was kind of like, yeah, we'll continue to play. And finally, when other teams got sick, they shut down. So they had like a 25-game stretch where they were just on the road or sick. And then that's tough to rebound from, and that's a team that was in the conference final 2 years in a row before that. So, I mean, as much as you want to say that the bubble was a real playoff or not. But
and a lot of people's favorites to winning the Stanley Cup last year. There was so many, Hockey Digest, Sports Illustrated, they all had the Islanders winning the Stanley Cup last year. And then all of a sudden this year, going into this year, they're not making up. Same team coming back, except Chara's gone, and they added Romanoff, who's a younger, faster, hitting type of player. They're not good enough to make the playoffs. They're not good enough to go all the way. What a crock of you-know-what. And that's called hating. That's called hating and saying that Lou Lamoriello doesn't know what he's doing. This is the same guy who's been there for 4 years and won 2 GM of the Year awards. This guy is, to me, this guy's a champion. Everywhere he's gone. Remember, he didn't come from just hockey. He used to GM for basketball. He came from college basketball before he even took over for an NHL team. This guy's been around sports his whole life. He's been winning everywhere he's gone. So to say that this guy is past his time, it's a crock. Just like Brian Cashman, past his time. What a crock of you-know-what. That's all I'm going to say.
By the way, the Islanders are tied right now for 8th in goals for right now in the entire league.
That's tonight, after tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question, go back to the Rangers, is about the kid line. There was the dilemma at the beginning of the year because of how well they played in the playoffs. They were consistently the best line, and there was a thought of, all right, should they let Kakko and Lafreniere develop and put them in the top 6, or should they keep them together and play maybe more minutes? So what is your impression of what you've seen so far with these guys playing in the top 6? Hedl really hasn't done much because he was hurt, but the other guys, do you put them back together? Have you been impressed with some of them in the top 6?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they played well. I mean, they tried Lafreniere on the top line and Kakko with the Panarin line, and I thought they played well. But, obviously the Rangers had issues scoring there for a little bit. They had a couple bad games, and they decided to change the lines up, and all of a sudden the kid line's back, and immediately they start producing again. So it's one of those things where it's like you want to they need to separate them. They need them to play top line minutes because they just need more offensive firepower. You can't have Jimmy Vesey playing on your top line. I mean, as much as I like him, you need a better scorer on your top line with Kreider and Zibanejad. For the Rangers to go where they go to the playoffs and go on a run, they need these kids to produce. If it's the kid line, then make the kid line your second line then, and then make a line of Panarin with Kreider and Zibanejad and have 2 top lines and then kind of fill in your roster below that if that's what they want to do. But for the Rangers to make a run, these kids have to start producing. I thought Lafreniere has taken more of a step than Kakko has. Kako's been a little snake bitten this year. He's gotten robbed like 6 or 7 times by goalies by a couple posts. I think Lafreniere is more of a complete at his age than Kako is. I think Hedl, to be honest with you, is the best one of all of them right now. I think he stepped up in the playoffs last year with the goal scoring, and he was hurt for a little bit, but when he's played well. And unfortunately, they kind of have him pegged right now in that third line center role. I would love to see him possibly move up on a wing because he's not afraid to shoot. Yeah. And if they move him on a wing with Panarin and Trocheck, I think that would be a great spot for him because Panarin loves to pass the puck. Hedl will shoot the puck. Trocheck will shoot the puck. Trocheck, I think, has something like 64 shots on net already this year, which is second on the Rangers, I believe.
Yep.
Which is why, great. I think he's a better fit than Ryan Strome. And the guy's winning faceoffs at a 56% clip.
Anybody's better than Ryan Strome.
Yeah.
Islander
fan hate there from Ryan Strome.
He's horrible. He was horrible on the Rangers.
Much better in a Rangers jersey.
Really? He missed an open net last year that could have sent the Rangers into a better position in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, the guy
missed
stinks.
about 4 open nets last year.
But
stinks. He's still an okay player. But anyway.
Who's getting $5 million, what, from Anaheim? I think he's playing for Anaheim.
5 for 5. 5 over 5, yeah.
He's ridiculous. There's no way he's worth $5 million. I wouldn't pay him $1 million. Matter of fact, I wouldn't pay him $150,000. The guy stinks. Okay, he was a high draft pick. What was he? Top 5 draft pick for the New York Islanders. He was terrible. He was absolutely horrendous with the Islanders. And when Ranger fans got him, we got him.
He actually did find his game with the Rangers.
Yeah, he found his game all right. How many goals did he have?
That's about it.
How many goals?
He had about 20.
I don't want to. I have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure in his span with the Rangers, he had something like only 5 less points than Barzal had in that same time period.
He is not anywhere close to the player Barzal.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying
no, I know, but right. I mean, the difference. Obviously,
you can't even put their names together. I would throw up when I hear that name and Barzal's. I mean, that's
the thing. Like, I love talk about Devils fans. By the way, someone we can.
By the way, congratulations to them. They won and shout out to Ben for posting this 13th in a row. Fantastic. They're playing great hockey.
Phenomenal.
Right now. Yeah,
I'm glad for them because they've been really lousy for the past couple of years. So I'm glad.
That's a team I called before the year. I said if they get goalie, they can actually play because they were putting up 5-6 goals in some games last year and losing.
I actually said that. I had a bet with one of my buddies. And he just thinks they're horrible, and he's eating cake right now.
Yeah, no, the Devils aren't bad, but Devils fans are very.
If they stay healthy. They need to stay healthy.
Yeah,
because Dougie Hamilton last year got injured, and that kind of ruined everything.
But they're very big on cherry picking stats and throwing it back in people's faces. So that's when I see the Barzal because he had 0 goals, until this weekend. So I saw people post,
Speedy, by the way.
Libor Hayek has
eventually he was going to score.
No, Speedy told me.
You can bet any day Barzal will get a goal, you'll probably win.
Well, first of all, just so everybody knows, if Barzal wanted to shoot the puck and score, he could. He
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll show you a videotape where he missed the net.
That's fine. That's
on
fine.
A wide open net.
He's forcing.
He's still averaging a point per game.
He's still
on assists.
Yeah,
we're paying him $9 million to assist.
Okay.
I love that.
And if he ends this season, if he has this season with 90 some odd points, and even if
80 of them are assists,
who cares?
Yeah.
I'm convinced Mikey C and Kyle are trying to get a fusion of Barzal and Strome together.
Let me explain something. I actually played hockey. I was a really good hockey player. I was a top prospect. Okay, and when I played the game, it didn't matter if I scored. It didn't matter if I had assist. I went on the ice and I made sure I was the best player on the ice. And that's what Barzal does every single game. You could say, oh, this guy has 2 goals and that guy has 4 assists. When at the end of the game and you watch the games and you understand the game of hockey, you know who the best player on that team is. It's not even a question. And every game, even if he doesn't score a goal or he gets an assist, or doesn't even get an assist, he is the best player on the ice. When we went to the Rangers and Islander game, you can ask the Beeve, he's a big Ranger fan, who's the best at the end of the game. He didn't score 1 goal. He had an assist in a game. I said, who was the best player on the ice? He says, you know who the best player on the ice was? It was Matthew Barzal.
No.
It's not even a question.
It's Sorokin every time.
No, Sorokin, what?
I'm
not talking about the goaltending. I'm talking about the players.
Best player on the ice.
I'm talking about the offense, the defense. He's such an idiot. I can't stand him. I'm sorry.